Hey folks, real quick thought here concerning what the flip is going on with this huge push at seems to be whatever cost, it doesn't matter. It's a blank check on moving to wind, solar, some geothermal maybe, hydroelectric, getting off of fossil fuels, which we know are extremely reliable, and we know exactly what they cost, and we don't have to reinvent ourselves. While China is building another 200 coal-fired plants and has over 1,000 in operation right now. The United States hasn't built one in 12, 13 years, and the average age of ours are 42 years old. That's a whole other conversation. But here's really what's going on. It's the venture capitalists. Think about the SVB bank that failed. And it had failed overnight. And all that money was money, or a supermajority of that money was really the quantitative easing 1, quantitative easing 2, quantitative easing 3, all this money that's being spent that was just printed. That's it. The money doesn't really exist, folks. They just printed it. Of course, that's why we have such a huge inflation issue. And just wait till the commercial properties start to implode. That's coming. That's another subject as well that we'll discuss during some of the future shows. But let me go back to why I'm making this post today. Venture capitalism is just that. It's high risk, high reward. You shouldn't get bailed out for it. It is what it is. It's in the name, venture capitalism. Okay? That capitalist is gonna put a lot out there. They're gonna stick their neck out to push what they think is the next great thing. And if it works, my gosh, they're gonna be extremely wealthy. But when it doesn't work, they lose. And that's just the way it is. That's the way it has been until the last, let's just say the last several years, where now they're getting bailed out. SVB is the biggest example of that right now. So, but the venture capitalist mindset now is part of the federal government. The federal government is now taking through your ESG, the environmental social governance program that a lot of people aren't aware about, that is taking your money and investing it from your 401k into what I believe many of these green projects are boondoggles. You're not going to see the ROI, and that's a huge risk. But why is it happening? Where is the real protection of the American citizen? Well, the government's supposed to do that. That's the government's job. When these leaders swear an oath to uphold the Constitution, their job is to protect you and I against radical things happening in your society, whether it's rioting in the streets, whether it's people getting carjacked in their cars, whether it's, bad investments. Where is the oversight? Well, the people who are supposed to be doing the oversight are connected to organizations and movements like ESG, the World Bank, and many, many others. Of course, George Soros you're hearing a lot about. Sorry, Glenn Beck, you were right well over a decade ago and nobody listened. You're marginalized. That's too bad. Hopefully people are paying attention to you more about what you're saying, because it seems pretty prophetic that you were right all along. So, I digress. So here we are. What is it? Venture capitalism is now in your federal government. Many of these leaders, particularly on the Democrat side, some on the Republican side, what I call rhinos, they are investing your money like venture capitalists. This whole push towards electrification of cars, and soon will be your homes, soon will be solar on the roof of your house and your apartment buildings, and all these things that are really unproven as a great ROI, return on investment. But in the end, what are they doing? They're acting like venture capitalists. They're willing to risk many, many, many dollars, your dollars, for this looks to be pipe dream to get their agenda. Now, I wish it was just as simple as it being a venture capitalist move. It's also crony capitalism. You have it going on all over the United States, where manufacturers are coming out to build these plants. here in Tennessee, for example, you have Ford, who's pushing black farmers out of their properties, paying them pennies on the dollar for their property. Big lawsuits going on about that right now. But you also have government agencies spending your tax dollars to prop up, in the case of Ford, CCP connected companies. Okay, so now we've went from venture capitalism to crony capitalism, both very, very bad for the American citizen. So it's time for the American citizen to truly wake up to the fact that part of World War III that we're in right now and have been in for a long time is destroying the infrastructure of the United States of America. And the way you do that, one of the large cogs on the wheel of success of America is capitalism. The laws of capitalism or the rules of capitalism, they're being broken left and right. They're being rewritten to be a shadow of their former self. And then also, folks, coming up on the show, so stay tuned, okay? I'll have a link on this post to the Craig Bushon Show website, Spreely.tv. Got some great things going on over there. Big launch happening this month. But in the end, folks, we've got to start paying attention to what's going on. We got to read between the lines. I know some of you are very, very woke to what's going on. And we're going to push back. We're going to fight back. And the more information you have and the more things that you know to do to defend yourself, the better off we're going to be in the United States of America. And real quick, we're also going to be discussing one of the biggest subjects out there that people need to talk about more. And too many people are saying the word democracy. We are not a democracy. We are a republic. We are a democratically elected representative republic. It is to the republic for which we stand, not to the democracy. And all these things that are going on, where what happened in the Tennessee House, what happened with the young Americans that were rioting in Chicago, destroying property and hurting individuals. That's what democracy looks like. That's how democracy evolves into mob rule. This is why the founders gave us a representative republic. We're going to talk about that as well on the show. So stay tuned. And also go to AmericaICan.com. Check out what we're doing there. Take the oath. Look at the oath that we're going out with. Little lapel pin that says American. More about that later as well. Exciting times. Excited to get back to the fight for America. And we'll see you soon.